Hello, welcome back to another video. This is a second video. I did the truss rod video just yesterday, and now we're doing the string action. One thing I do want to mention is there is no particular order if you do the string action or the string height for the neck tension or the string height first. It doesn't really make a difference because when you're doing the truss rod, you're fretting at the 17th fret. If you watch a video yesterday, you would know fretting at the 17th fret, and so everything, how high or low this is irrelevant. So, because I've seen some people do it in some different ways. So, like yesterday, the first thing we have to do is just measure how much, how high it is originally. So, there's multiple ways you can do this. This is a common tool, the string action ruler. It even gives you, I don't know how well you can see that, but it even tells you what the string actions, what the supposed string action can be. This is completely personal, and there is no rules to do it, but there is a little guide. So so for example, I'm going to use millimeters, but for along here you can see the different heights of what it is in a nice gridded section. So so yeah, I'm going to do this way, and I've already measured it, and I know on the base side this is about 2.5 millimeters, and this is about 2 millimeters. And this is a little bit too high for the standard of playing. It can play a lot easier if we lower that to about 1.5 to 1 millimeter. On this it says 1.5 to 2 millimeters on the 6th string, on the lowest string, and on 1.5 to 2 millimeters on the 6th string, and 1.5 to 1 on the lowest string. But again, completely optional. If you don't know how high or low you've never really done this before, you don't really know what you like and what's easiest for you, just go about 1.5 millimeters. That's a good sort of middle ground. If you feel like you want a bit lower on a certain side, then you can quickly adjust that higher or lower, however you want. It's just really a bit of a trial period of playing it for a couple hours, seeing how you like it. If it's where you feel you're comfortable, like fully comfortable, then you change it. So I have the a Tune-o-matic bridge on mine, so that makes it very easy for me to adjust, because it's only two adjustments. It's not like in a Stratocaster or Telecaster even, where they have much more finer adjustments for all their things. And you should be able to do this by your fingers. If not, then you can get a tool. Loosening the strings will make it a lot easier. If you have a lot of string tension, it'll be quite difficult to raise it up anyway. Maybe not loosen it. And so yeah, mine's are very stiff, so I'm just going to get a single flathead screwdriver to adjust that quickly. Okay, so I've completely loosened the strings, and now I can adjust it freely. Again, the main thing you want to remember is to use them, adjust them. I've loosened the strings completely, so I can quite easily adjust it. One thing you want to remember is to just do it in small increments and nothing too extreme, because you can quickly change it without you even realizing. So I'm just having to lower mine at the moment. So that's threading in the bridge on either side, and it would be a good idea to remember exactly how many turns you might make, so it makes it a bit easier for you next time to loosen or adjust anything. And when you get back to measuring, you want to tune it up, because if your guitar strings are slack, then they might drop a bit, and they won't be completely high, straight. and so that's something you want to make sure. So again, just at the second fret, I'm using the met. That's about, and when you're measuring, you want to measure the bottom of the string, not the top of the string. You want to measure from the fret, not the actual fretboard, from the actual metal fret to the bottom of the guitar string, not the top of the guitar string. And so on the 12th fret right now, that's sitting at about 1 to 1.25, which is exactly where I wanted it. And on the higher side, that's about 1.25. So I'm going to loosen the lower side a little more, just to make it a solid 1, maybe even a bit lower, like 0.75 of a millimeter. And so if I just, and another way you can do it of measuring it is with a feeler gauge. So this is about 1 millimeter, and like we did in the truss rod, like how I did with the truss rod, you just slide it under there, and it should glide through perfectly. There shouldn't be any dead space, and it shouldn't be pushing the string up as well. It shouldn't be hitting against the string too hard. I'm just going to measure again, and I can see, yeah, that's a solid 1 to 0.75. So this has been set up. The action, the truss rod's perfect. The action's now now a lot better. And now I'm going to go on to guitars with a Stratocaster type of bridge. Now, you know, this, so far, this wouldn't, you know, everything that I've said isn't irrelevant now that I just have a Stratocaster, but it is, there are some extra notes that I want to add. So, that's in shot there. The main thing I want to say is with these saddles, obviously you have to adjust each one individually. You do not want the saddles to be lopsided. You want them to be completely flat. You want this one to be completely straight, even. I mean, and you want each one to be completely straight. You don't want them to be angled. You don't want them to have a you don't want them to follow like they want to be staggered, you know. You don't want them to be a smooth curve of like the radius. You want each one to be staggered, and so that's an important note. And also, secondly, another thing you can do with these kind of guitars to maybe speed up the process is using a radius measurer or whatever. I don't know what you call them. So obviously there's many of them, each of different radiuses. This is I haven't actually measured this, so I wouldn't know exactly what this is, or this particular guitar, the Harley Benton. So I'm not going to waste too much of your time with trying to do that. But obviously measuring the radius isn't difficult. You know, you put the thing underneath the strings and you just kind of wiggle it, look for any dead space, look for any like gaps. I can see this is not the right one. It's there's a bit more curvature to the fretboard than this, and this is a 20-inch radius. You know, you see them and they don't look very different than another, but they do have a difference. But anyway, what I'm trying to say with this is you want to make sure that there is a radius with these. You know, you don't want them to be completely flat, and you shouldn't have done that anyway. You know, whether you're using this, there should be a natural radius. You know, because but you can double check it with one of these radius gauges. And in fact, even if you want to speed up the process a little bit, if you set the low string, it's really tuned down because I only have one spring in the back, and so there isn't enough tension holding in the thing. Sorry, my cat's making a lot of noise. I'm sorry for that noise in the background. But if you want to just set it for the lowest string and the highest string to your desired amount, like 1 millimeter, or whatever that is in vertic. I think that is what is it, like about point 4 or something, 0.3, or 0.3 or something. Regardless, right? So you just get then the radius thing, and all you do is just you follow them along the strings, and you lower or heighten each of the thing because the radius should be will be set by the lowest and highest string already. So then you just adjust each one so it follows the guitar. So that's an easy, quick way to do it. Obviously, you can double check with the actual all my things. Right, okay. With the actual string action height, but ruler. But that's just a quick, sort of easy way. And I think that concludes this episode. I don't think there's much more to say. Obviously, string height is one of the more, I suppose, important ones. You can say it really does affect your playability. And also, your string action, unlike the truss rod, isn't something you're going to really have to change unless you maybe change guitar string gauge. You might have to adjust it by the tiniest fraction. But generally, that's not something you have to adjust. So unlike the truss rod, which can change due to weather and everything like that. But anyway, that's this video. I hope it's been helpful to you. I will be doing more videos on intonation, cleaning up the guitar, and other things like that. Oh, sorry, there is one final note I forgot to say. If you can't lower your guitar anymore, the action, and it's still too high, you need to take off the scale. You need to take off the neck, and you need to put a shim, just a miniature, like a very slim kind of shim, points of a millimeter, not even a full millimeter, and that will adjust the neck angle to bring it back uniformly. If you have a guitar with a set neck, you might want to look into buying a new bridge, or something like that can be lowered a bit more. Otherwise, there's not a lot you can do. And also, you can even replace a bridge on one of these kind of guitars, but usually a shim is how you go. Which I'm not going to be doing in this video because it doesn't need. But that is there are separate videos on that on YouTube. That is just a note. So yeah, that is it. I hope you've now have your action all set. I hope your guitar plays good, and I hope you watched the previous video because that's also very helpful. In the next step, I'm going to be going over intonation. In another video, I'm doing pickup height, which will be a short one because it's not a lot to say really, and I'll also be just cleaning a general clean up of the guitar and fret polish. And so stay tuned for those videos. I'll be uploading daily of this little mini series that I'm going to be doing. So I hope if this helps you, please like and subscribe, comment, share, all that stuff. I am always active on my YouTube channel, and so I would just like to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next